such a handsome you are. Vegan? No surprise.
Russia, go home.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nasze programy oferują wiele języków. Prosimy zobaczyć suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Sonia said that in her dream, St. Francis suddenly appeared and taught her how to properly communicate with animals. It turns out that the main way to communicate with animals is to pass on thoughts and feelings to them in the form of mental visual messages.
The Extraordinary Telepathic Abilities of Animal People, Part 1 of 4. Please continue watching to find out more.
Since visiting the abattoirs of South France, I have stopped eating meat. Vincent van Gogh, vegetarian.
Their bodies! Their milk! Their eggs! Animals want to live! Animals feel pain! Animals have families!
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is one of them. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Protection of animal egg. Any person who cruelly treats an animal person is guilty of an offense and is liable to a fine of 1,500 East Caribbean dollars, equivalent to $555 and imprisonment for 3 months. Anyone who engages animal people in fighting or permits another person to do so is also liable to a fine and imprisonment. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses, no more hurting, no more murdering them to eat, to lab tests, or for any reason at all. Be vegan, make peace, so be it.
Owalalaponava. That's how you say good morning in Oshiwambo, one of the many languages spoken in diverse Namibia. Lovely viewers, my name is Elma Jane. It is my wish that you can visit the fascinating nation of Namibia at least once in your life to experience the richness of the landscapes and the kindness of the people. Welcome to part 1 of our 4-part series, The Extraordinary Telepathic Abilities of Animal People. Behavioral scientists and naturalists have studied the emotional intelligence and consciousness of people in the animal kingdom. They observe that animal people can discern visual cues, body language, vocal patterns, or a vast array of sounds and learn behaviors through observation or conditioning. They can communicate through behavioral, visual, or auditory signals which occur between animal beings of the same species and across different species. Furthermore, it has also been observed that such communication can often happen in silence without any physical interaction or even across vast distances. Termites effectively collaborate to build elaborate architecture structures even when a barrier separates the colony. A flock of bird people glides gracefully in a coordinated way with remarkable precision. A threatened whale person warns other herds of impending danger even though they are miles away. Domesticated animal people seem to know when their caregivers are coming home and can sense their intentions and emotions. There is a certain intuitive signaling that comes from a deep bond between humans and their animal companions and within the animal kingdom at large.
When I found out that my grandfather had died, this was unexpected. I was in the middle of making a trip to go and see him. I knew he was sick, but he was supposed to have much more time. And from out of nowhere, he's at my feet, and he's clawing his way up me. And it's actually, when he got to me, that's when I started to cry. I didn't call for him, I didn't scream, he just knew. I just knew he knew there was something really wrong.
I have a special connection with my fox terrier, Toby, who's 8 years old. 6 years ago, my sister had a very large home when I was with a group of people at a party. My dog loves water. She loves to swim. I was in a group of people, and I suddenly was swept with a sense of dread and terror. And I shouted out her name. I ran from the downstairs of this house, through the backyard to the pool, and Toby was in the middle of the pool, surrounded, wrapped up in the pool hose, and couldn't get out. And I jumped in, fished her out, she was fine. And then a year later, the same thing happened. I got to the edge of the pool, and where Toby would normally get out, the two exit areas had been filled with pool floats, and she was floundering at the edge and really going down for the last time. This is a connection of not just me to my dog, but the dog speaking to me.
For centuries, there have been numerous reports of unusual animal-people behavior before the onset of natural and man-made catastrophes such as earthquakes, tsunamis, avalanches, and air raids. Dog people howl and bark frantically, cat and bat people behave in anxious ways, elephants cry, and other animal people show apparent signs of fear many hours before the disaster.
October 2005. Tens of thousands of people die in Pakistan in yet another violent earthquake. There's massive destruction in the capital Islamabad and outlying areas. Later, there came reports that just before the quake, birds there had been crying loudly. Dogs had been seen running through the city, barking frantically. Wild pigs, which usually roam the city at night, at this time of the year, had totally disappeared the night before. For centuries, there have been reports that animals behave in conspicuously strange ways before a quake. Days, sometimes even weeks before the event, the animals seem disturbed.
While it's possible animal people can predict earthquakes by sensing slight tremors, why can't seismologists? Perhaps they pick up subtle sounds or vibrations in the earth. Maybe they respond to subterranean gases released before earthquakes or react to changes in the Earth's electrical field. Their ability to sense in advance what is about to happen may also lie beyond current scientific understanding through some kind of presentiment. In the pioneering study How Animals Talk, published in 1919, American naturalist Reverend William J. Long explores the powers of communication and premonition among wild and domesticated animal people. Reverend Long believes that they are much more intelligent, emotional, moral, and telepathic than humans traditionally thought. Through a lifetime of field observation, he explored the phenomenon of vocal, silent, and even motionless communication among animal people. According to Reverend Long, telepathy, which translates to feeling across a distance, in fact, has always existed and is a natural way in which animal people communicate. It is an ability innate to all living beings, including humans, though many have forgotten how to use it. Animal people communicators are an example of those who have tuned in to this ability.
If all the animal people know peace, the world's humans will know peace. So be vegan, please.
Empathetic viewers, let's pause for a moment to listen closely to our wise animal friends. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television.
Peace for Ukraine or urine.
Compassionate viewers, welcome back to our show. Sonia Fitzpatrick, vegetarian, is a renowned animal people communicator who found a deep connection with animal folk as a little girl. Her encounter with Saint Francis of Assisi, vegetarian, in 1994 actuated her telepathic abilities.
As a child, she could not hear very well and hence did not like to make friends. Instead, she preferred to stay at home on the farm with the cows and sheep. Because she found it easier to communicate with animals than with humans. She could hear animals' voices without having to use her hearing. At first, Sonia was only able to communicate with animals in one direction. For example, she can hear their thoughts but cannot communicate back to them. It was only after a strange encounter in 1994 that she suddenly transformed into the most famous animal psychic in the United States. Sonia said that in her dream, St. Francis suddenly appeared and taught her how to properly communicate with animals. It turns out that the main way to communicate with animals is to pass on thoughts and feelings to them in the form of mental visual messages. For example, she would first ask the animal why it suddenly stopped eating, and when the animal received the message, it would send back a visual message. For example, the animal will show in the image that another animal has stolen its beloved food or toys, resulting in its bad mood or loss of appetite. It is worth noting that according to Sonia, this image can be seen and felt at the same time. If the animal is ill, then Sonia will immediately feel pain in the same location as the animal. And finally, the key to communicating with animals is that you must first believe that you can communicate with them.
Laila Del Monte, vegetarian, is a world-famous animal people communicator who experienced a special bond with the animal friends in her life. She reveals how the unconditionally loving nature of animal beings often leads them to take on the physical pains and negative emotional experiences of the humans in their lives.
I was wondering, what exactly is telepathy? Yes, is it surreal? What is it?
No, it's just the ability to melt my mind with their mind and to feel how they are feeling.
Well, I've never heard of that before. I'd like to know if my two cows are happy here.
So Mary is the leader of both of them, and she helps the other cow, because Ellen is more emotional than Mary. Mary's really better at perceiving what's going on around her. And, you know, she's really attentive to you. She perceives everything that's going on with you.
That's right. I've noticed that.
You know, sometimes you get there and you're really worried. Something related to someone's health. I got an image of a younger person with health problems.
It's okay now. His mother is a friend of mine, a very good friend, and her child was very ill. When I visited her, not very long ago, she confided in me, and I was a little shaken.
You know, when you come here, they know exactly how you're feeling. That's how I can perceive from them the image of a sick child.
I'd never have thought it could go that far.
Really?
Yes. I thought that an animal was just an animal.
No, animals are the same as us.
I didn't know they could feel things as deeply as that.
You know, they pick up, they feel, and they understand everything.
Wow. You've certainly taught me things I didn't know. I had no idea we could be close to animals like that. I'm going to try and feel more for each animal.
Laila Del Monte shared further about her motivation to communicate with animal people.
What motivates me to communicate with animals? Well, first of all, it has to do with feelings. I want to know who the animal is. I want to be able to feel completely inside of me, in all my cells, who he is, because I love animals. I love being able to feel who they are, and also feeling the difference between all their different minds. But above all, it's really to further the cause of animals. It's to be able to show people that perhaps don't have the same sensitivity, that they have consciousness, that they have thoughts, and that they have emotions.
Think vegan is too difficult? Well, face the challenge, man.
Cherished viewers, we are grateful for your company with us today. Please join us again on Wednesday, July 19, for part 2 of this series, when we will take a closer look at some of the experiments conducted to study animal-people telepathic communication. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television for The World's Elevating Consciousness and Rising Vegan Trend, part 5 of 12 on Between Master and Disciples, up next after Noteworthy News. May you be blessed with beautiful days in heaven's grace.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, hell not reach.
Peace for Ukraine or Ukraine now. Russia, just go home.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/SS.